a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And welcome back to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Thanks so much for spending some time with us, making you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we do that by bringing on all of our expert contributors, 80 different categories of consumer advocate content and advice on the daily here from the Consumer Quarterback Show. 4 o'clock drive time right here on 860 The Answer, Sunday morning show on FM 102.5 The Bone. We got Andrew Kube in the house, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. We're going to talk about a lot about business today, finance. He's got business loans. He's got some really cool programs that he'll talk about here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also, you know how these monthly job reports come out? We're going to talk about a recent, almost like an expose in a sense, where they're saying they'll come out with these higher jobs numbers and then they'll revise them down. Guess how many times the Biden administration did that last year? Well, we'll tell you here in just a minute. We also have Michael Johnson coming in studio as well. Dennison Yachting. He's our boating and yachting expert. All things for yachting and boating, enjoying the outdoors. Coming up here on the show today, Brio Tuscan Grill, the official restaurant partner, Tampa restaurant partner for the Consumer Quarterback Show. And it's also a hosting spot where we host our parties. We've got our third Thursday of the month. Every third Thursday of the month, we're having our event over at Brio. So you can come out and meet with some of our expert contributors, some of our radio show personalities that you hear on the show. Thursday, February 15th, going to be at 6 o'clock over at 2223 North West Shore Boulevard. Hey, look, that's tonight, actually. Third Thursday, February 15th, 6 p.m. over at Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza. You can come on out and enjoy some great networking, some fellowship. We got appetizers provided, and there will be a cash bar there as well. So come on out, Brio Tuscan Grill. Say hello, by the way, to Chef Oscar Ramirez and Joey, the general manager, and they're going to hook you up with a free appetizer just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we feature our listings. It's our strategy that helps us sell faster for more money, maximizing the exposure on the sale of all of our real estate listings. To me, that's our highest duty as a real estate agent. You know, it's our highest and best use of our time is to get our listings out there for other sellers to see, other buyers, investors. We want everybody to see these listings. The more people that see our listings, and it all comes down to exposure. We've invested over $1 million in our radio and TV show over the last 10 years, invested well over $1 million growing this unique strategy. And we got a hot listing here at 18522 Gulf Boulevard. This one is on the beach. It is on the Pinellas County beaches. I love it. You walk out the door and you're just a few steps away from the sugar sand beaches and dolphin-filled waters of Indian Shores. 18522 Gulf Boulevard, Unit F, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, just under 2,000 square feet, beachfront condo. You have private parking. You have kitchen that has updated granite countertops, mosaic backsplash, high-quality cabinetry, beautiful engineered hardwood flooring, 3 balconies as well. You look out one of the balconies and you're looking over at Tom Stewart Causeway and you're watching the boats go by on the Intercoastal Waterway. And then you look out the other direction and you're looking at the Gulf of Mexico. You see the dolphin playing and kids out there enjoying the beaches, and a great time to be had at your beach condo. Now, one of the best things, $250 a month HOA, only $250 a month HOA. And this one's listed over $1 million because it's right on the beach. Great opportunity. And you can short-term rental, bonus short-term rental on this property. Great opportunity to own real estate right there on the beaches. So you talk about Airbnb and all those good strategies there that people love. All right, here's another waterfront property, 5930 River Road, Newport Richey. This one is on the Cody River. You have 80 feet of frontage on the Cody River, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bath, almost 2,000 square feet, half-acre lot on the waterfront. Bring your boat, bring your jet skis, your kayaks, your canoes, and have a good time over at your brand new waterfront property on Newport Richey. This home is just a gorgeous property. It's got a classic look to it as well. You've got the metal roof, stone construction, cypress wood shingles, expansive support system and crawl space as well, Florida room, covered lanai. The living room features wood beam coffered ceilings, fireplace with stone mantle, graceful archways, formal dining room with chandelier, stained glass windows, that is, and large picture window with a view of the river. You can see all of our real estate listings at PlatinumCoastalElite.com. Check out PlatinumCoastalElite.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, Andrew Kube, welcome back, sir.
Thank you, Brandon. Great to be here.
Yeah, man, thanks for coming in. What's the latest in the business finance world? What are you seeing out there?
So, yeah, there's a lot of businesses out there that are looking to grow, so we have programs for them to help them do that. The first program we have is the SBA, the Small Business Administration. The SBA has set aside $5 million for every small business that's out there. And when I tell a lot of people that, their eyes open up. What do you mean I have $5 million to grow my business?
Wow.
So, yeah, that's what I do. I help business owners grow by helping them buy real estate for their business. And in a lot of situations, more than one location. So I had a dentist recently that wanted to grow out his dentist practice. He was currently leasing. We helped him with the rent replacement program where he was able to buy commercial real estate for his business and walk away with cash to help grow his business for no money down. And then he came back to us at 10% down and bought a second location, but he walked away with more money than he started with. So on the second location, he bought a property for $1 million. He needed $400,000 for dentist equipment, fixtures, working capital for his business. So we did a loan for $1.4 million. He put down 10%, which was $140,000, and walked away with the difference.
Wow! So he's literally injecting $300,000 in cash. Is that in that scenario?
Yeah, in that scenario, he was putting down $140,000, but getting back $400,000.
Yeah. Wow.
So he said, Andrew, I'll call you back in 8 months. I'll be ready to do it again.
Wow.
So if you're a business owner out there and you're looking to grow your business, buying real estate's a very smart way to do it. As long as you're operating 51% of that property for your business, you can lease out 49% or less and help somebody help pay your mortgage for you. This can be ground up construction. So you can buy the land, you can build your building, and you can get the money you need to help you grow all at the same time.
Yeah, wow, this is super cool. Andrew Kube here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. His company is U.S. Commercial and Business Capital, and he's talking about SBA has set aside $5 million for small businesses. And Andrew, I just love these examples. I mean, it's really, when you tell it in a story like that, it just makes so much sense. So this dentist utilized your rent replacement program and was able to buy real estate. So instead of paying monthly payments to lease payments that he's basically thrown away in a sense. I mean, yeah, you can have your business there for a short-term period, but by investing in his business, now he's going to own that building. I'd love to see the numbers too when you fast forward this 5 years, 10 years, right, on the equity growth, the appreciation, and the way that you'd pay that debt down. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, he was paying $10,000. It was roughly $10,000 a month. So when he called me, he said, Andrew, I pay out over $120,000 a year to somebody else's mortgage.
Wow,
that's a $240,000 swing because I'm not putting it back in my pocket. My landlord's getting the tax write-off, and what am I going to do in 10 years? When I decide to retire? I don't have any children to leave the business to, so am I just going to shut it down? If I own that real estate, now I'm onto something. Now I'm able to sell my business and rent the real estate out, or sell my business and sell the real estate. And then my wife and I can go off into the sunset and retire. So over 10 years that he had been there, he'd paid out over $1 million to somebody else instead of putting it back in his pocket. So,
wow. Yeah, the exit strategy is just unbelievable. Yeah, the exit strategy there, you really got to think through that because it's a major, major point.
Yeah, and a lot of people, too, even if you're trying to start a business, it's so much better to own the real estate from the beginning. A lot of people say, hey, we'll get into this rental property and, we'll see how our business goes the first couple of years. Well, a startup is based on projections. So it's going to be a lot easier to obtain the real estate at the beginning when you're projecting what you think you're going to do, opposed to you've been in business for 2 years, and you haven't on your taxes you haven't shown a lot of profit. So you're better off buying the real estate in the beginning when it's all based off projections on what I think I'm going to do, not what I've done.
Yeah, it's true, man. We're talking with Andrew Kube here, and when you look at I want to go macro here for a minute and talk about this clip that we brought up. Let's play this clip, and then I want to break it down a little bit with Andrew Kube. He's our business finance expert, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital here on the Consumer Quarterback Show.
Economists are raising red flags about a pattern of data revision regarding recent job reports. They say the jobs picture isn't as positive as initially reported.
Those numbers will often be revised weeks later as more data comes in. What has concerned some economists is the pattern in those revisions. The Daily Caller reported recently that in 2023, the Labor Department overestimated the number of jobs added every month by an average of over 100,000 jobs each month. We spoke with Peter Earle, the senior economist for the American Institute for Economic Research, and he said that those initial reports rely more heavily on subjective judgments than hard data.
And although there are standard operating procedures, at times it's possible that there could be some judgment there that makes certain numbers and therefore certain policies more favorable than they actually are. So while I'm not, accusing anyone of wrongdoing, I am saying that the potential is there for introducing subjective factors or subjective judgments that can mislead as to what's actually happening in the economy.
So if the data is eventually corrected, why do these initial reports matter?
Because of optics. Here's Earle again.
The initial number is what grabs people's attention, what makes headlines, and what people, often get anchored to in terms of their sort of behavioral and, their perception bias. And then if there are changes afterwards, they rarely hear about them.
Now, this pattern of...
Yeah, so that's exactly what happens. And I will call them out and say that I think it's intentional. I mean, why else would they be doing it over and over and over and over? I think it's 12 or 13 months in a row that they did that. So if you just joined the show, we're talking about jobs. And you see these jobs reports come out, and then you have the current administration where they'll say, oh, well, look at all these jobs we created. They'll create a meme, throw it on Instagram, and then try to get some people to fall for it. But it's going to show, hey, we created 350,000 jobs. But then the very next month, they have to revise it down to 250,000. So they're off by 100,000 jobs, Andrew. It's not even close.
Well, yeah, I mean, and the thing about it, what he said is, what you were saying, when they do revise it a month later, nobody hears about it.
Yeah.
So, obviously we have an election coming up, and that's one of the strategies I believe that the Democrats are using to help gain votes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's unbelievable. So if we're talking with Andrew Kube here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we had our CPA on the show last week, and I think this is newsworthy. I should definitely, relay this to our audience again. This is something small business sector oblivious to a rule. So this is a new rule that came out. And there's a new law impacting more than 32 million small businesses across America, but many of them have no idea. Under the Corporate Transparency Act of January 1, small business owners must file their information with the Treasury's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. The agency says it's been working to ensure those impacted know about the new rule. However, in a November survey of small business owners, only 47% of respondents said they had no idea what that act even is. Not filing opens up businesses to significant criminal and civil penalties per FinCEN. So the main focus is to fight money laundering, and it doesn't know how to deal with small businesses. So anyways, here's more government regulation that small businesses, it's like one of the last things we need, right? Is one more thing to worry about, one more thing to do. And you got 32 million small businesses across America that somehow survived through the Chinese virus and the COVID pandemic, lockdowns and all that BS. So now, more regulations for business owners, Andrew, is just what we need, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to make it harder. It's going to affect jobs. It's going to hurt the economy. Small business owners do not need more regulations. They need better access to funds to help their business grow, because it does help improve the economy, because it creates jobs. So yeah, more regulations. I'm not for that.
Yeah, dry cleaners, convenience stores, small cleaning companies, small contracting companies, so it's counterproductive. And anyway, so yeah, we recommend Dwayne Bischoff. He's our CPA, CPA of TampaBay.com. If you have more questions about that rule. But if you own a small business, you haven't heard about that, you could be, and it says, quote, significant criminal and civil penalties if you don't register with the Treasury's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. So yeah, they're trying to cut down on money laundering. Well, how about not sending more money to Ukraine, right? That's one of the biggest money laundering scams that we've seen in our history. All right, we got to take a quick break. More with Andrew Kube coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes 1, at CQB Show. And please subscribe to our Rumble channel and our YouTube channel, Brandon Rhymes Realty. Please do us a favor. We're really close to hitting a milestone. Pull out your smartphone to get to your next red light. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Brandon Rhymes Realty Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you've been listening to the phenomenal Brandon Rhymes, the Consumer Quarterback Show.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
I want to give a special thanks to Satellite Phone Store. They just hooked me up with this beautiful satellite phone, and it's a gorgeous phone. It's a great device. It's a safety device as well. Think about it. If you're out on the boat 40, 50 miles out, maybe you're going hunting or you're going hiking in the woods somewhere, you run out of cell phone service, or who knows, maybe a possible terrorist attack. It's not like our politicians aren't entrenched in all this stuff going on overseas, all over the place, all over the world. Could be a terrorist attack. They could attack the power grid. They could attack the cell phones. Who knows what they're going to attack next. Sat123.com/REQB. Sat for satellite. Sat123.com/REQB, like real estate quarterback.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back in studio here with Andrew Kube, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. And if you own a business or know someone who does and you're renting, you're paying for a lease, you definitely got to call. You got to reach out and you want to talk to Andrew about some of his programs. The SBA has set aside up to $5 million for every small business in America. A lot of people don't know about it, Andrew, and we're going to give out the number here. So call and engage with us, 727-263-3707. Call or text 727-263-3707, 263-3707. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com. Andrew Kube is in the house. We're going to talk with him more about some of the different strategies, and I want to ask him about another success story. I know he's got lots of success stories of business owners that are taking advantage of these programs. Before we do, a couple of hot listings. 2907 North Florida Avenue here in Tampa Bay. This is a commercial property. Now, I love this one. And, Andrew, you put a flyer together for me on this one. 2907 North Florida Avenue. You got 12,000 total square feet, 7,200 plus heated, 3/4 acre lot, strategically located in a great part of Tampa, close to the I-275, close to downtown. You have a smaller building that's currently rented out, and it's leased out for about $6,500 a month. The bigger building could be used as a warehouse or retail. You also have offices in front, three really nice offices. It's decked out, looks great with the lighter colors there. Great opportunity right here in Tampa Bay. And Andrew put together a flyer for us. I don't know if we still have that flyer, but you've got some really good financing options. I want to talk about this one here in just a minute. But we also have another listing at 6441 4th Palm Point. Now, this one on 4th Palm Point is a single-family home. This one's on the waterfront in St. Pete Beach. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 2280 square feet. Stunning views of Boca Ciega Bay. You have a split-level floor plan. Spacious kitchen for entertaining. Opens up to the dining room, living room, and family room with a cozy wood-burning fireplace. Hurricane-rated windows. Your minutes to the Gulf. And you have your own private boat lift, private boat dock, private pool, and a fenced-in backyard right there on St. Pete Beach. 6441 4th Palm Point, St. Pete Beach. You can see all of our listings at PlatinumCoastalElite.com. Check out PlatinumCoastalElite.com.
This is God's country.
All right, quick shout out to Discovery Golf Cars, longtime friends of the program. DiscoveryGolfCars.com. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. They got the E-Z-Go, the Star EV, the Cushman. They have commercial or residential use golf carts. They hooked us up with a beautiful Keller Williams Red. We use it for door knocking on our real estate listings and going out on the team and, of course, having some fun with that. The dogs love to take a little ride. Little Brady likes to go for a ride. Get your golf cart, DiscoveryGolfCars.com. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. So what would something financing like that one look like on the 2907 North Florida Avenue, Andrew?
What is the purchase price again on that, Brandon?
That one's like $2.89 million.
Okay. So the best way to do that, there's a couple different ways to do it. But so let's say you're a business owner out there and you want to buy that property, but you also need equipment to put in your warehouse. So we can do the loan not only to buy the property for $2.8 million, but let's say you needed $1 million worth of equipment. Now we're at $3.9 million.
Wow.
The down payment's going to be 10%. So on a $3.9 million loan, that's $390,000. But you're walking away with $1 million in equipment.
Wow.
So are you coming out ahead or what?
Right.
The rates on something like that right now, it's 10% down, which is better than any conventional loan. SBA, it would be the SBA 504 loan. And the SBA finances 40% of the loan, and then the bank that we choose will finance 50% of the loan. The SBA piece is going to be at a 6.1% interest rate.
Wow.
For 25 years fixed.
Wow.
50% of the loan, the bank's going to come back, and you're going to be somewhere in the low 7s to around 7.5%, and that's going to be on a 5-year loan with a 25-year AM, and it will adjust after 5 years. It won't a balloon. It will adjust after 5 years. So you're having a blended rate on that property somewhere under 7%.
Yeah, that's amazing.
On a 25-year AM.
To have access to all that capital, I mean, that's the key, is if you have access to capital and you have a smart business and you have a smart team around you, then you're able to move product or sales. You're able to make things happen. Access to capital is such a key. Do you have any other success stories you'd like to share?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of different loans. Success stories. I had a client typically on the SBA loans, they want you to have experience, but at times we've gotten creative, and even left the seller of the business on the loan for a year to be, or on the deal for a year to be in a liaison to help new clients get into an industry. So
that's a good move.
Yeah, I mean, during the COVID epidemic, we had a client up in New Jersey that was starting a daycare, and during that time, it was very hard to get a loan for anybody. So we had spoken to about 30 lenders and finally found one lender that would entertain the loan. So, yeah, a lot of times that we have to really dig deep to find the lender perfect for that scenario. And that was one case where I felt proud that we were able to help her buy a business with little or no experience in that industry, because we left the seller on board for a year.
Smart.
To be able to say, hey, he's going to help us, help the new clients, the new business owners get to where they need to be on that business.
To transition with it. Yeah, that makes sense. Andrew Kube, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. Take about the next 45 seconds or so and describe the way that your program works. I remember you telling last time you're a broker, so you have, I think it's 40 or 50 or more lenders that you're able to shop, right?
Yeah, so personally, I average about 40 to 50 referrals a month. Half of those are business owners and half of those are investors looking to grow their portfolio. When you get that many leads, you have to have homes for these loans. So over the years, I've been able to establish relationships with probably around 100 lenders or banks across the country.
Nice.
So my job is to help that client find a loan, and also to find the best terms for their particular situation.
Yeah.
So what I do is I have about 15 to 20 SBA lenders that I have relationships with, that I've done business with, and they all see that loan, and then, let's say 15, there's 10 of them that like it and 5 of them that don't. So then we help to negotiate the best terms that client can get.
I love it. I love it. How do you want them to reach out? How to connect?
727-296-8650 or USCBcapital.com is our website.
USCBcapital.com, USCBcapital.com. Coming up, Michael Johnson, Dennison Yachting on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Thanks for listening to My Daddy's Show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.